Hello everyone, and welcome to this fascinating story. Today, we embark on a journey to a small village by the sea, where a humble fisherman named Mr. John lives. His life is simple yet lonely, as he spends his days catching fish and selling them at the market. Little does he know, an encounter along the forest path will change his life forever. Once upon a time, in a quiet village by the sea, there lived a humble fisherman named Mr. John. Every morning, he set out with the other villagers on fishing trips, catching enough to keep some for himself and sell the rest at the market. Though he worked hard and lived comfortably, he often felt the weight of loneliness in his heart. With no family to return home to, his days felt empty despite the lively village around him. One day, Mr. John decided to travel to a neighboring village to sell his fish. As he walked along the forest path, he stumbled upon an unusual sight, a weary-looking man sitting by the roadside, accompanied by a small tiger cub. Curious, Mr. John approached and asked, "Why are you sitting here with a tiger cub?" The man sighed heavily and replied, "I have no money, and my family hasn't eaten in 2 days. I can't take care of this cub anymore. If you give me your fish, you can take the cub with you." Mr. John hesitated, but his heart ached for the man's misfortune and the helpless cub. Thinking that the cub might bring joy to his lonely life, he agreed to the trade. He handed over his fish and carried the cub home. When the villagers saw Mr. John with the cub, they were astonished. "What will you do with a tiger cub?" they asked. Mr. John smiled and said, "I'll raise it and tame it. It will be my companion." Some villagers admired his bravery, while others warned, "A tiger is a wild animal. It may be small now, but it will grow strong and dangerous." Undeterred, Mr. John built a sturdy cage on his veranda and fed the cub fish every day. Over time, he grew attached to it, finding purpose in its care. He took the cub on walks through the village, earning a mix of admiration and fear from the villagers. Despite their concerns, the cub filled the emptiness in his heart, becoming his closest companion. Years passed, and the cub grew into a powerful and majestic tiger. Mr. John took great pride in how he had raised and tamed the wild animal. One day, he prepared for another trip to the neighboring village to sell his fish. Before leaving, he secured the tiger in its cage and set off. The journey through the forest and hills was long but familiar. At the market, he quickly sold his fish and enjoyed a cup of coffee before heading home. However, as he began his journey back, disaster struck. A massive landslide blocked the mountain road, preventing anyone from passing. Despite their efforts, the villagers couldn't clear the path in a single day. Mr. John had no choice but to stay in the neighboring village, waiting for the road to be cleared. Days passed 1, 2, 3, then 5. Finally, when the path was safe again, he rushed home, eager to see his tiger. As he stepped into his home, he found the tiger alive but weak, sitting quietly in the corner of its cage. It had not eaten for days. Overcome with emotion, Mr. John hurried to open the cage, approaching the tiger with love and relief in his eyes. But something had changed. The hunger had awakened the tiger's primal instincts. In a tragic moment, unable to suppress its wild nature any longer, the tiger attacked Mr. John. The villagers later discovered the heartbreaking scene. Though Mr. John had raised the tiger with love, nature had prevailed. The once gentle companion had reverted to its true instincts. This tragic story reminds us of an important truth: some things in life, like the instincts of a wild animal, cannot be changed. Just as a tiger's nature remains untamed despite years of care, some people, too, may temporarily suppress their true selves, only for their true nature to surface when the right conditions arise. Acting out of emotion or sympathy while ignoring the fundamental truths of nature can lead to harm. Whether it's a wild animal or a person with an unchanging nature, it's often wiser to accept reality and maintain a safe distance when necessary. Thank you for joining us on this journey through an unforgettable tale. This story teaches us about nature, instincts, and the importance of understanding the limits of change. We hope you found it thought-provoking and meaningful. Stay tuned for more incredible stories, and until next time, take care and keep exploring the wonders of storytelling.